ESPN Sports.
Holy cow! Yeah! Score! Yeah!
After months of baseball, Major League Baseball goes out of view today for the White Sox and Twins. Game number 162 from Target Field this afternoon in Minneapolis. We have reached the 2018 finish line. Jason Benetti, Steve Stone along with you. And the question is, has Joe Mauer reached the finish line for his career? Some speculation that this may be his final game.
We've seen that he has a whole lot left. He's got 6 hits in the series, hitting just about everything in sight, and Mauer's had just a great career. I'm thinking there's more to it, but a lot of people here think this might be the swan song for him. 2 hits in every one of these games, and Joe swinging the bat as well as he's ever swung it, and doing what he always does, hitting the ball exactly where it's pitched, not over swinging, as you can see, hitting .500 in the series with 5 runs scored. He's driven in 1, walked a couple, so if this is indeed his final performance as a Major League Baseball player, he's going to go out on top.
The guy he's going to face is Dylan Covey, who's been tremendous his last couple starts against Cleveland. Today, he gets the Twins.
Hopefully, he'll be every bit as good today. Cleveland's a little better team, but he threw exceptionally well, especially last time out. So he's hoping to finish it with a flourish. The sinker's been very good. The velocity has been upwards of 96 miles an hour. Things going very well, trying to make an impression for next year, perhaps, as a candidate for the starting rotation. All things being equal, the last 2 times he faced the Indians, he was overwhelming. And you take a look at what he did last time out. We talked about the 6 with no runs on 6 hits and 7 strikeouts with only 1 walk. Hopefully the control will be good today. I'm thinking the guys are going to be swinging early in the count consistently.
We'll see. We'll see. There has been some rain pregame that's supposed to be out of the forecast as we hit game time as the Sox and Twins play the final game of 2018. One much improved player for the Sox we'll detail after this.
White Sox baseball is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Test drive a Hyundai today. Xfinity has the largest gig speed network, serving more homes than anyone else. Ford, inviting you to visit your local Ford store or buyfordnow.com. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Choose Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, the card to carry through it all. Wintrust, home of Sox checking and debit cards. Open an account today at wintrust.com/Sox. And by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional offers on select Audi models.
In 2018, Sox and Twins, and throughout the telecast, we're going to show you some of the key moments of this 2018 season. In terms of development, Tim Anderson's improvement both defensively and offensively has been notable.
2020 man this year, the first time in history the Sox ever had a shortstop go 20-20. That's home runs and stolen bases, and this one taken down the line, just inside the line. And a big year for Tim. He improved in every aspect of the game. As far as his offense is concerned, it got better and better. The defense made great strides during the course of the year. All things considered, it was a great year for Tim.
Yeah, it was about halfway through the season that defense really turned it up a notch. He is out of the lineup today, but the Sox do have some of the young players in the lineup for Ricky Renteria in this final game. So Sox and Twins first pitch just around the corner. Off we go with 162. And best in-home Wi-Fi experience. Call or visit an Xfinity store today. Game number 162. Sox trying to avoid 100 losses. And Joe Mauer's little girls, twin girls, were the first base occupants meeting Daddy over at first. So they bring out folks from around the area to be their special guests on the field here in Minnesota every home game. And the twin daughters of Joe Mauer were the first base residents today. Pretty cute. Sox and Twins getting ready for our nation's anthem, and we listen in on this final day of 2018's Major League Baseball regular season.
Born and raised in Oakdale, Alyssa joined the U.S. Navy in 2010. After completing electronics technician's apprentice school, she was transferred to Norfolk, Virginia, and stationed abroad, the USS Eisenhower. She deployed twice in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. After successfully completing a 4-year sea duty tour, she received orders to Great Lakes, Illinois, where she currently works as a Navy military training instructor, providing 24 hours of supervision, leadership, and mentorship to over 3,000 entry-level sailors. Thank you, Petty Officer Ligday, for serving our country. Singing the national anthem today, we welcome students from the Robbinsdale Spanish Immersion School in New Hope.
So
Great job, kids, here in Minneapolis. Sox and Twins trying to make it that it's not a sweep to end the season for the Chicago White Sox. Trying to pick up win number 63 and avoid that 3-digit round number we won't talk about until it happens. We just did. Sorry about that. White Sox lineup today goes like this. Yolmer Sanchez off the top. Then Leury Garcia and Daniel Palka. Avi Garcia, Matt Davidson, Nicky Delmonico, Castillo, Moncada, and Cordell, your starting 9.
Let's take a look at the defense and how Paul Molitor is going to put them out there for the finale this afternoon.
There they are. Although there are more people on the field than you're allowed.
So we'll go with Grossman, Cave, and Kepler in the outfield left to right, along with Astudillo, Polanco, Forsythe, and Mauer. Gratterall has the plate. And Littell on the hill. So this will be an interesting performance for him. Interesting as far as Minnesota is concerned, as they're still trying to figure out if this is Joe Mauer's last game or not. He has not said anything, so maybe having his couple of very nice looking young ladies out there to greet him at first base, his 2 young daughters. That's probably not a tip-off, as there's a lot of people on the infield, but if this is indeed the finale for Joe Mauer, he will have had a great career. There's a lot of people here in Minneapolis hoping that he's going to stay for a couple more years.
Well, Joe Mauer, more than 2,000 hits, a guy who is a homegrown product. They are very fond of him here, and rightfully so. And you look at his career, he debuted back in 2004. Darryl Boston says farewell, if this is farewell. He's 35 years old, so there's still some left in the tank, at least age-wise, you'd expect.
The way he swung the bat in this series, and I know the preparation is much more difficult than the actual playing of the game, but it's pretty hard to go out there each and every day and give everything you have as you get to your late 30s. He's in the mid-30s. We'll see what he's got left.
First pitch, final day of the season. Ball number 1 to Yolmer Sanchez. Will spend his offseason in Arizona after a long year for him, the most playing time he's ever gotten as a major league player. And Yolmer, anytime Ricky Renteria talks about him, Ricky says, look, this guy gives you absolutely everything every day, and that's not easy to do. 2 balls and a strike on Sanchez.
Only the second start this year for Zach Littell. His ERA way up there above 6.6.
His 8th major league appearance. So as this game wears on, we're going to tell you about some of the best moments in a White Sox season that's had 62 wins so far. Sanchez very patient. The opening batter takes ball 4. Yolmer Sanchez, 10 triples this year, the most on the White Sox. This was number 10. It came the other night. Jake caved in, and Yolmer took 3 bases off of him, but he'll be best known for this. The self-Gatorade. And the celebration that is number 5. There's a bunt, third base side and foul for Leury Garcia, getting a final start this year. Tim Anderson has the last day off. All the games in Major League Baseball starting at the same time or thereabouts, whether it's an 05 start or a 20 after start, somewhere in that range. And we will keep an eye on the carnage in Major League Baseball's National League as the Dodgers have the first lead of all the division or wild card possibles. There's a bunt back to the mound. Littell pressed into action, and he's got the out. Dodgers are up 2-0 in the first with nobody out against the Giants, so that pressures the Rockies a little bit.
When you're staring either the one and done game in the face or game 163 in the face, you want to get off to a pretty quick start. The Dodgers were able to do that against the Giants.
Taylor walked, Turner doubled, Freese singled. Here's Daniel Palka, who we chatted with during Ford White Sox warm-up. and his power has been one of the greatest attributes of any Sox player this season.
Well, we knew he was very strong, and we knew that he could hit it a long way. We didn't know how frequently he would hit it, but he's proven to be a very, very good clutch hitter.
You heard him talk about changing eye levels and how pitchers have tried to do that mostly up and down, but also in and out to keep him from zoning in on a location.
All things being equal, they do try to stay up, preferably inside in the zone, but if they miss, he can take it out easily.
Fouled back by Polka, who came into this season with as many major league hits as most of you at home, and has turned into a nearly 30 home run guy. He's got 27 homers this year in 123 games. (22-year-old) Zach Littell, former 11th round pick of the Mariners 5 seasons ago. Breaking ball missed. Littell came over here at the trade deadline last year from the Yankees. It's in the Jaime Garcia deal. Cue shot, third base line, and foul.
Wise choice by Littell, because as soon as that ball did spin out of fair territory, you got to touch it. You never know if it's going to come back. He was able to get to it, and it was indeed a foul ball.
So Sanchez at second, 1 out. And you see the numbers this year on Daniel Polka, the slugging nearly 500. And one of the most muscular hitters in terms of hard hit home runs in Major League Baseball. Why does that matter other than looking cool and enjoying an exploding baseball? When you hit the ball that hard, you're more likely to, on a ground ball, on a ball to the outfield, you're more likely to find grass or find a hole, and it suggests a higher future batting average.
And that's really the case. If it's not hit right at an infielder, it'll get by him with that massive velocity that he shows each and every time.
On the ground, right side. This is a really tough play for Polanco, and Polka beats it out. Good start for the Sox. First and third, 1 out.
This is a good effort by Polanco, but he can't get it there in time. Ranging way to his left. Bauer able to catch it, but they don't record the out, so runners at the corners and only 1 out.
Avi Garcia, the batter. Avi, who's scheduled for surgery in just a couple days on his balky knee. Foul ball, strike 1. Ever dream of being a White Sox player? Now is your chance. I know your answer. Attend the Chicago White Sox fantasy camp in Glendale, Arizona, January 13th through the 19th, and be treated like a pro. For camp info, 623-302-5002, or sign up at whitesox.com. On the ground and through, base hit. The Sox are on the board first in this finale. Polka on his way to third, and he is there. 1-zip.
49 driven in for Avi as he takes it through the left side, and hasn't been the kind of year he'd want. It's been interrupted a couple times with injuries, but he takes it right back up the middle and starts the scoring.
Brings up Matt Davidson. Sanchez in, Polka to third, and Matt takes a strike as called by our plate umpire Jim Reynolds today. Sox trying to avoid being the first White Sox team since 1970 to lose 100 games. A rare occasion for this franchise in its past. That exit velocity, by the way, on the Garcia ball was 111 miles an hour, to the point that we were making. When you hit it harder like that, there's going to be less reaction time and your batting average grows.
Yeah, pitchers really don't care if a guy hits at 430 or 415 or 420. If it's a home run, it's a home run. Exit velocity gets you more hits. And the distance of the home runs, in the grand scheme of things, irrelevant. But more hits is very good.
Davidson to center. Palka will tag. Cave is underneath. Palka's on his way home, and it's 2-0 Sox.
RBI number 62 for Matt Davidson. Towering sacrifice fly.
So 2-0 Sox here in the first. On baseballs hit 111 miles an hour last year. The league batting average was 736. 3/4 of the time you hit it that hard, you're going to get a hit.
That was pretty good.
Here's Nicky, who takes a ball high. Nicky Delmonico lost a good chunk of his season after being hit on the hand by a pitch back in May. You wonder what this year would have been for him, building on last season, making the opening day roster for the first time.
There's really not much you can do if you're not going to have a padded up lead arm and wrist. You're just at the mercy of inside fastballs, and hopefully he's able to stay healthy the rest of the way. Tough to miss a couple of months, and it's tough to have hand injuries for guys who are quality hitters.
Avi at first, 2 out, first inning. 1-2.
I think he cut that one in on the hands of Nicky. There it is. So he'll go back up the middle, pulling it mostly, but uses center field quite a bit.
Another foul ball for Nicky Delmonico, forcing Littell into 25 pitches, and number 26 coming. Zach Littell from just east of Greensboro, North Carolina. Nicky grew up in Knoxville, Tennessee. Two-zip Sox. Avi an RBI single, Davidson a sacrifice fly. And the 1-2 from Littell. We'll have to wait. Always want to win the last game. Always makes the offseason just a little bit better to start.
Well, also with the carrot out there that you don't get the triple digits in losses, that's always a nice thing to avoid.
Baseball is pretty adherent to the fact that it's remembered in round numbers. For right or wrong, a 299 hitter is worse than a 300 hitter by substantially more than is actually true. It's the reason people price things at $5.99 instead of $6. You just kind of mess with the mind a little bit as a baseball fan to get yourself to thinking a little differently, as there's strike 3 and the inning is over. Sox get 2 in the first inning. Dylan Covey, the pitcher, coming out. Ball monitor. Joe Mauer at the top, then Polanco and Cave, Grossman, Garver, and Kepler, Forsythe, Astudillo, and Gratterall.
Let's take a look at the defense and how Ricky Renteria is going to put them out there with Nicky, Ryan, and Daniel left to right in the outfield, and Yolmer, Liuri, Yuan, and Matt in the infield with Wellington, Castillo getting the nod behind the plate, and Dylan Covey on the hill. First, we'll see a standing ovation for Joe Mauer as you look at the numbers. Start number 21. And the fans don't really know if he's coming back. They were going to cover their bases. They're going to make sure he gets a salute and a standing ovation to go with it for an icon here in the Twin Cities, Joe Mauer.
1,858 games, including this afternoon, all in a Twins jersey for number 7. A local hero who will always be that. They're not sitting, Joe. Boy, this does get the feeling of his last game, the way he was just talking to Wellington Castillo. And certainly you got to be nice to somebody if they say bon voyage. You're not going to say, oh, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody sit down.
I'll let you know in a couple of weeks, so you'll be the first I'll call, Wellington.
It does strike you as the way a final game would look from the player's perspective, but there's strike one, and the speculation will continue until he makes an official judgment on this. But he's got the twin daughters, as we talked about, and a third child on the way, and you wouldn't blame the guy at 35 if family time was his decision. They're not going to sit down until Joe Mauer's trip to the plate is done. "14 years ago, April, Joe Mauer first stepped foot on a major league field. They've been through a stadium since he's been here. His first game at the Metrodome, a 7-4 Minnesota win against the Indians on opening day. He hit 8th that day against CC Sabathia, and here Dylan Covey provides at least light drizzle for the parade for round number 1.
Joe's had some just magnificent seasons. Talk about 365 in 2009, 328 in 2008, Even last year, he hit over 300. And this year, knocking at the door.
Left field, Nicky Delmonico patrolling for round number 2. White Sox fans, Sox Fest 2019 hotel packages are now available. It's the only way to get passes for a weekend of White Sox baseball you won't want to miss at the Hilton Chicago, January 25th through January 27th. Hotel packages are available now at whitesox.com/SoxFest. You know, it comes soon.
It's right around the corner.
It really is.
Yeah, get a couple of holidays under your belt. You enjoy certainly Halloween and then Thanksgiving, and now you got Christmas. The next thing you know, into Chicago for Sox Fest.
There it is.
Goes pretty quickly.
January 25th through the 27th at the Hilton Chicago. We hope to see you there with a renewed outlook and a renewed optimism. We will promise you in a non-binding way that there will be great weather for Sox Fest.
I don't doubt that for a minute. Probably going to be 70 and sunny. But maybe not. By the way, there's 5 games that are 2-0 so far.
Isn't that
just in case?
Out of the chute fast.
Yeah, they start off, just forget the 1 run. Boston has 4 of them, but besides that, a lot of teams leading 2-0 in the early going, including St. Louis over the Cubs.
Patrick Wisdom, an RBI single. You looked at that lineup before the game, you thought, who are some of these guys? And some of these guys have driven in a couple runs against Mike Montgomery and the Cubs. So if the Rockies and Dodgers together have the same result today, and the Brewers and Cubs have the same result today, whether it is win or loss, there would be 2 Game 163s tomorrow. And then the regulation wild card game, and possibly a completely separate city the next day. As a baseball fan, your eyes just have to light up
There's no
at that
doubt.
prospect.
Now, this is exciting. I mean, and I think baseball did it absolutely perfectly when they had every team starting at the same time.
Yes.
Within minutes of one another. Obviously, whether it's 2:15 or 2:10 or 2:05, it's still, you don't have much of an advantage if you're looking from afar, figuring out who you want to pitch, which was the object of doing that, so a team couldn't pull back a guy that they anticipate using for the playoffs, because they're on the West Coast looking at an East Coast game, and the team that you need to lose is losing, so you don't have to worry about your starting pitcher. Baseball wanted to avoid that, and I think they've done a nice job with it, and that's the early going. 2-0 scores.
For the Rockies and the Dodgers. To first base, Matt Davidson. In a 1-2-3 first for Dylan Covey. Good start for the Sox in the finale. 2-0 after 1.
America runs on Dunkin'.
Of course it does. They got so much good stuff there. Sponsor of our new mystery beverage on the prize shelf, brought to you by Joe Grube.
I think I'm going to have to move my residence to get closer to the Dunkin' Donuts.
They don't have many in the desert Southwest?
They've got a couple, but they're not quite in the neighborhood.
What do you dunk it in? Everything dries up before you can drink it.
Well, that's true also, but still, Dunkin' Donuts are wonderful.
Breaking ball for a strike to Wellington Castillo, who is likely back. He's signed through next year. You expect to have a full strength and a full season of Wellington Castillo, who Ricky Renteria thinks is a very good in-game adjuster behind the plate, especially with young pitchers. Strikeout number 2 for Littell.
That was a good curveball, soft curveball. He had Wellington well out in front.
Here's Yoan, who's played just about the full season with a hamstring injury early in the year. A couple months in, kept him on the shelf for a little while, but for the most part he's been healthy this year, to the tune of 149 games in his first full season. Well,
I think for the most part, Jim Reynolds is intimating to the boys you might want to swing the bat. The plate's going to be a little wider than 17 inches today.
Oh, he didn't get that one though.
Not quite out that far, but far enough. First couple pitches might have been an inch and a half off the plate.
Can't blame Jim Reynolds.
Nope.
Last day of the season.
You certainly cannot.
The expectation from the players even going into this game, right, is that the plate's going to be wider, especially in a game that isn't for playoff contention.
Going to be a bigger plate, and they would like you to swing the bat.
That's strike 3. First one actually that was in the zone in the entire at bat, and Moncada goes down looking. It's a good pitch.
It seemed like a good pitch. Gratterall didn't have to move it that far up, moved it a little bit up, so he felt it might have been down somewhat, but Yoan takes a call third.
First one is strike to Ryan Cordell. First season in the majors. Well, now Littell has found the strike zone. He's clinging to it.
I think the implementation of that soft breaking ball has helped the location of his fastball because he gets a good feel for the follow through on the curve.
Foul ball for Ryan Cordell, and here's his major highlight this season. Looking for his first career home run, his first career hit. He got them both. A moment to remember for Ryan Cordell on a Friday night in the Charm City. To left field here, Grossman is back on it. For round number 3, we're watching the scores around the league. We're also watching one specific batting average. We'll tell you why when we come back.
Presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Go to jeffvuk.com or follow him on social media because Nationwide is on your side.
Even during the offseason, Nationwide is on your side.
Particularly during the offseason.
More so than in season?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's not affiliated with Nationwide Insurance or any of its subsidiaries. That sentiment. So I mentioned going to break, the scores around the league and all of that being very interesting on the last day of the season. There's one specific batting average to keep an eye on around Major League Baseball today, and that is of the Oakland Athletics power hitter, Chris Davis. If you like baseball quirks, you should root for him to go 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 1 for 4, or 1 for 5, according to Ben Lindbergh of The Ringer. If any of those lines happens today for Chris Davis, he will hit 247 this season. You say, well, why does a 247 average matter? It would be his 4th consecutive year hitting exactly 247.
That is pretty amazing.
I mean, how does that happen?
Especially when you take a guy who hits the ball out of the park as frequently as he does to wind up with the same batting average when he's not an average hitter per se, yet that is a baseball anomaly.
Complete oddity.
Yep.
So you're rooting for 0 for 1, 0 for 2, 1 for 4, or 1 for 5 from Chris Davis today. Dylan Covey making very close friends with the strike zone in the first 5 batters. Chris Davis is currently 0 for 1 in the A's game with the Angels. Dylan Covey, 12-inning scoreless streak coming in, now 13 1/3. Into the afternoon sky. Foul territory, Matt Davidson for out number 2. Holistically for this season, taking a look at the wins above replacement for all White Sox pitchers, according to Fangraphs, Reynaldo Lopez has had the best season. Then, might be surprising to you, but Jace Fry and Dylan Covey are tied for second.
But I think Dylan, who's had one of those up and down years, both literally and figuratively, where he's been shuttled back and forth to AAA, moved into and out of the bullpen, now back in the starting rotation. Last few weeks, he's thrown the ball exceptionally well. I mean, 2 games against Cleveland, he was as good as you can possibly be against a quality offensive ball club. Plus Boston, he threw very well. So he's really saved his best for late in the season and when he got his opportunity to reemerge in the starting rotation.
Ground ball factory, Covey, Moncada with the sweep. And he aced him. Yoan Moncada. Glove side beauty right there. Oh, yeah.
By the way, that's not that easy to do. It looks really easy. It's very difficult. More times than not, the ball goes over your shoulder.
You practice during the break. You're not going to figure out how to do it. Yolmer Sanchez takes ball number 1. Third inning underway in the final regular season game 2018 for the Sox and the Twins. Sox trying to stave off that 100 loss.
This play has Danley's defensive play written all over it. Yoan Moncada with a backhand flip. A tough thing to do, but he gets it there just in the nick of time. And of course, when you make a play like that and you think of garages, you have to think Danley's.
He did with a glove what it's very difficult to do with a bare hand, first of all. Then you add the glove as an implement.
And he got it there perfectly.
How hard is that to do? I mean, you looked at it and you were stunned as a former player.
Well, having tried to do many of those things, because you play flip, you play lots of things with your teammates. But if that ball doesn't roll down toward the webbing, it's going to go straight up in the air when you go to flip it like that. So it's a very difficult play. It's not one I don't think you work on very much, if at all. So it comes about, and all of a sudden the stars align perfectly. Everything works well, and that turned out to be quite a play.
That's the raw talent of Yoan Moncada, and athleticism and sometimes fortune.
Yep.
1 out for Garcia. Into the glove for strike 1. By the way, you may have seen it on NBC Sports Chicago during the last homestand. We're saying farewell to our longtime director Jim Angio, who's retiring after 40 seasons in the truck. And you all at home enjoyed it so much when NBC Sports Chicago had it. In the bottom of the 3rd, we're going to hear from Jim Angio once again. If you missed it, or if your friends missed it and wanted to see it the other night, we're going to do it again. We're going to take Jim's microphone. You're going to hear what he does on a day-to-day basis directing this show, and it is a marvel. Bottom 3.
I think it's wonderfully entertaining, and I think it gives a lot of the fans a perspective that they might have thought about but never really listened to before.
Strikeout number 4 for Littell. And Daniel Palka bats with nobody on, 2 out in the 3rd. Dodgers have taken a 6-0 lead on the Giants as Daniel Palka hits this ball deep to left center and off the wall. He's on his way to second base. Palka is there, standing up. Ball nearly carried out of here as Palka hammers one to left for a 2-out double.
Came pretty close to home run number 28, but hits a rocket off the wall. Takes a good solid swing at a pretty decent pitch. This is thigh high on the outside portion of the plate and hits it off the wall.
Double number 15 to go along with the 27 home runs for Daniel Palka. Avi takes ball 1 outside. So 6-0 Dodgers in the 3rd. Rockies have the lead on Washington at the end of 2. 2-0 Colorado. So that looks like it's headed for a tie, at least for now. And a game 163. Avi in the air, short center field. Cave. Round number 3. And that is all she wrote for the Sox here in the 3rd. Bottom 3, 2-0.
999, and the 300th texter is going to win a $30 gift card. Subway, so much sandwich.
And as we told you in the top of the third, our director Jim Angio is leaving us after 40 years in the truck. Thanks for the memories, Jimmy, certainly. And Sox fans, we found out love Jim Angio. There you are. Hi, Jim.
Hi, guys.
You got to cut a show, I know, but we're going to start to ask you some questions.
Take 4, ready bug, and go bug, ready to dissolve pitch tracks.
We're trying to talk to you
dissolve
here.
pitch tracks, ready to take 2. Ready 5, take 5.
Jim Angio, our longtime director, folks.
Ready 4+.
What's 4+? People have asked.
Take 4+. It's a center field shot with the pitch tracks and there's a little thing in the lower right corner.
So that's plus.
That's plus.
All right. We're going to try and throw you off here and confuse your camera.
Ready 5, take 5. Ready font 1, insert font 1. Animate the font.
What's your favorite moment you've directed, Jim?
It's got to be the Burley perfect game.
Really?
Yeah, it was like the culmination of everything coming together perfectly. Ready 4+, take 4+. Having some experience before and some no-hitters, you know, every time you just improved and get a better idea of what you had to show.
Ready 3?
Ready 3, take 3. There you go.
Oh, you are going 3 there.
Ready to take 4+ and take 4+.
Okay, so the question that
2, yep.
I got from people when we heard from you
take 5
the other day is how do you keep it all straight? Like, how do you know where you're going next?
Take 4+. It's like 3 levels of chess. This is the basic level, the live level. Then every cameraman has to know the next 2 levels. So everybody's thinking the next step and then the following step. So everybody's got a rotation and a pattern to follow. Take 2.
Covey with a nice pick. And there's out number 1.
Take 1, take 1. Stand by replay. Ready, effect a red, and roll red. 1 angle only. Ready, effect back to camera 1. And ready, effect to 1, and effect to 1 back live.
What's red, Jim?
Red's the color of the tape machines. We have 6 machines, red, green, A, B, X, Y. Ready to take 4+. Take 4+. Gotcha. With the announcers. Ready to take 2. Stand by your 2 box with take 2. And ready to take 5. Take 5. Ready to take 2. Take 2. Ready 5. Take 5. 1. Go tight end runner on 1. Ready 1. Take 1. Ready your 2 box. And take 2 box.
You just heard, Jim, so many things get in the way of your best laid plans. You said ready, take 2 box, and then the base hit goes to right, and you just have to go another direction. How do you do that?
You just got to be super flexible. Super flexible. Ready to take 4+.
I guess we're going away.
And take 4+. Here we go.
And
back to the game.
There it goes.
That's the beauty of baseball. There's no timeouts. There's no whistles. You know, there's nothing to get a replay. And it's just continuous flow until the end of the 3rd out.
So how do you learn to do this?
Take 5. As they say in like Radio City Music Hall, practice, practice, practice. Ready to take 4+. Take 4+. After 6,500 baseball games, got a pretty good idea what's going to happen, but there's always the crazy pickoff at 3rd that nobody knows about, or the hidden ball trick that you've got to be careful about. Ready to 2 box, take your 2 box.
6,500 games. That's how many you've done.
Baseball. Close to 8,000 total.
Bulls mostly otherwise, right?
Right.
What else have you directed?
Ready to take 4+. Take 4+.
We're going away.
Soccer, women's pro bowling tour, men's tennis. 5 years with the Bears, the Chicago Marathon for 5 years, USA boxing, ESPN stuff, NHL, the Blackhawks for 3 years or so, until Sports Vision came along.
Wow.
Ready 5, take 5.
Why do you say ready? People ask me that too.
Ready to take 4+, take 4+. It's a ready cue that it's just standard. A lot of standard stuff that we learned, like basic directing. Just give everybody a ready cue, like ready, I'm coming to you. Don't think about moving the camera or swish panning or something like that. Ready to take 5, take 5. It's also a ready cue, ready font 1, insert font 1. It's a ready cue for the person, animate the font. It's ready for the people like the technical director who pushes the buttons and the graphics people that this is the next step. It's ready, and then this happens, hopefully. Ready to take 1 clean. Take 1 clean.
What's clean?
Clean without the graphics.
Okay.
They're assuming that the little strip at the top there, the score bug, is always going to be in. Ready to take 4+. Take 4+.
Is there a 4-?
There's not a 4-. There's a 4 extra clean. Ready 2. Ready your 2 box. And take your 2 box.
And here we are again. Our director, Jim Angio. It is marvelous to listen to you do this because this is one of those jobs where people say, first of all, I didn't even know it existed. Second of all, how in the heck does he do it? That was the response I got for the most part from your show that you put on the other night. I see you again. Bye-bye.
And take 4 plus. Stand by your 2 box with 21 and 4 and 2 in the tag box situation.
What was that? What did you just tell us to get ready for?
Ready 2. Ready to take 5. Take 5. And ready to dissolve your effects. Ready to take effects clean. And take effects clean.
Oh, different double box. We've been cut out of the whole proceeding now.
Ready to take 1 in the hole.
It's probably for the best.
Take 1 in the hole.
Yeah, that's for the best.
And ready to take camera 4 in the hole. And take 4 in the hole. Batter goes deep. 4 with the batter. 5 with the batter. 1 to the pitcher. Stand by to get some reaction on camera 3, possibly, or 1. Minnesota bench if there's a home run. Ready to take 2? Take 2. And ready to take 1 clean. And take 1 clean. And ready your 2 box with Steve and Jason. And take your 2 box.
There we are.
There we are. Poof.
Baseball right in front of your eyes. Poof, there it is. What are you going to miss the most, Jimmy?
I'm going to miss the camaraderie. I'm going to miss the guys in the truck. We're going to miss talking with the crew. We've been reminiscing up here in Minnesota. We had some pictures taken. I'm going to miss talking to you guys, you know, off camera and stuff like that. And it's the people in baseball. They're all wonderful people and a lot of great memories. Great take 4 plus, take 4 plus. It's the people. I'm going to miss the game. I love the game as much as I like football. I really love baseball. Yeah, I'm going to miss the game. It's been great people over the years, but the people behind the scenes and the truck and the creative types and the collaboration and stuff like that is what I'm going to miss.
Well, we're going to miss you deeply.
Well, thank you. I get to go home tomorrow and empty the dishwasher full of clothes. You know, the honey list I already got.
Director by day.
Housekeeper by night.
Housekeeper by night. Jim Angio. Do you give your wife ready cues?
No,
ready dishwasher, take dishwasher.
She gives me the ready cues. Ready to jump, jump. Ready to take 1, take 1. Ready, found 1, insert found 1. Every once in a while she goes, "You're not directing."
Oh, does she really?
Oh yeah, I get that. You're not directing. I'm not one of the crew.
Yeah, but tell her how difficult it is to animate your fonts.
Ready to take 4 plus, take 4 plus.
Pretty tough.
Christine, animate your font. What?
Ball and a strike on Maurer.
Ready 2. Take 2. This should be 3. Stand by pitcher on camera 1. Thank you very much, everybody.
Jimmy, we're going to miss you
very
deeply.
You guys. Ready 3, take 3. And music, and bring the lower third. And kill the mics, music full.
sitting up by the flower box in right field as Matt Davidson goes after the first pitch. Thought you might have to wait a while to see his home runs from opening day, but as we reminisce about the key moments in this 2018 season, go back all the way to March when Matt Davidson took over Kauffman Stadium. 3 home runs on opening day, and a high point for him certainly this year. And by the way, he can chunk it too.
He had a good run. I mean, some pretty interesting pitches. He looked like a pitcher. The stuff was there. He had to remind himself pitchers don't run off the mound. You kind of gather yourself and then ease into it as you leave the mound, but he'll get that down as he piles up. Gets into his 5th or 6th inning of work.
Yeah, and not only did he slow down, but he had the hand out as if to physically remind himself that he had to act like he'd been there before.
Put on the handbrake. I mean, that's understandable. Talking with Ryan Lamar on the final Sunday.
Ryan Lamar was talking before the game about his time with Minnesota and remembering back to Father's Day when he was with Minnesota that he was the one that ended up playing catch with Joe Mauer, who couldn't be at home, couldn't be with his family. So Ryan was touched that Joe would pick him. Maybe he'll be on the Christmas card list as this ball is leveled to right field by Nicky Delmonico and foul.
Plenty of distance. Unfortunately, it hooked in front of the pole, and Nicky will have to go back and do it again.
One ball, 2 strikes on Delmonico. Looks like we're heading toward at least one game 163 with both the Dodgers and Rockies up pretty big early on in their games. As Nicky goes to the left side and is out number 2. Polanco takes care of it. And here's your Sox math question. Last one for 2018. It's brought to you by Audi. Number of days between today and the 2019 Sox opener, including today and opening day, minus the number of times the Sox play the Rockies next season. It's brought to you by your local Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Audi dealers. Visit AudiOffers.com for exceptional deals. How many days, including today, up until and including opening day next year on the road? How many?
Well, you got to consider spring training, of course.
Yeah.
Like 6 or 8 in spring training, maybe 9.
No days.
Yeah.
Oh,
a lot of days.
9 days spring training.
Oh yeah, long spring training this year. Let's
9.
see. Let's see how many days.
You just sleep through a part of it?
Yeah, part of it. Goes fast.
1-1 to Castillo. Nobody's ever said that before, by the way. Spring training goes fast as Castillo gets popped with this ball, and he will head to first base.
That one got him, and fortunately the lead elbow is padded up, so he should be fine. I mean, it's not going to feel great, but it feels a whole lot better than without that padding if it was shattered. It's not a good way to go into the off season.
Breaking something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like Castillo is fine. So here is Moncada, who takes ball 1. Don't blame Littell for trying to extend that outside corner some more, as he did against Moncada the first time. Castillo at first, 2 outs. Sox are up in the season finale. 3-0. That's a strike. Top of the zone. 3-1. That's ball 4. Moncada takes a walk. 2 on, 2 out. Your 2018 Chicago White Sox are presented by Guaranteed Rate, your trusted teammate throughout the mortgage process. Experience the difference today at rate.com. You remember before there were smartphones, you'd go to the ballpark, your team would be in a playoff race, and you'd be sitting there watching the scoreboard over and over again. You keep looking to see if there was that change in the inning, because that's when they would really update the scores. Sometimes they'd only update the score when the inning changed, whether it be bottom or top 3. This would be the ideal day before smartphones to go to the ballpark and scoreboard watch. I love that as a kid. I don't know.
No, I mean it's quite a day, especially if you have a couple of teams that you follow, and most people do. They have one favorite team, follow a couple more, and then you can figure out just exactly where they are and what they're going to have to do and where they're going to play or not going forward into the offseason. But first things first, game 163 would precede that. That is the most exciting in-season game you can possibly play.
Sox saw it 10 years ago today. The blackout game. Jim Thome the home run. John Danks with a spectacular performance, and he still says that that was his favorite game he was a part of, most intense game he was ever a part of, and a lot of players feel that way.
A huge moment. I mean, the whole season's on the line, and John goes out there and twirls a gem. There's probably no greater pressure. Even World Series pressure is not as much pressure as 163, because you're already in the World Series. You would love to win it, but the goal is to get there.
Jake Cave puts his counterpart out, and 2 stranded in the Sox 4th inning. Professional grade. Some things to look forward to maybe in 2019. Eloy Jimenez is coming at some point. Dylan Cease's development. Jake Berger off a couple of Achilles problems. And then Zach Collins, maybe a AAA player after a strong season in AA. This is speculation, certainly, but some things to keep an eye on down on the farm.
Well, let's just think positively and assume there's not going to be any injuries next year. Now, we know there's going to be, but let's say individually, everybody stays healthy going in. We will see the debut of Eloy Jimenez. That's in the not too distant future. After the season starts, he's going to be around, and I think once he gets here, he's going to show people that he's going to be one of the premier hitters in baseball.
He's a clubhouse changer, you would imagine, based on his personality.
I would certainly think so.
We saw that with Michael Kopech, with the way that he inspires, with the way that he can fire people up. And by the way, while we're talking, Dylan Covey hasn't given up a run in 19 days, his 3rd start in that span. Everything in play, no walks, no strikeouts, 1 base runner today.
Well, he already has a few people that are very important to his health and well-being as a Major League Baseball player in his corner. Don Cooper, one of them, Ricky Renteria, another. They know that that stuff is major league quality stuff. And they know if he can harness it, he can not only pitch up here, but he can pitch very effectively up here. And for what he's shown against some of the better teams, you would think this was a year where he established something in the eyes of the people that matter. And I'm talking about Rick Hahn and Kenny Williams and Renteria and Cooper. They matter as far as what he's going to do. And he's going to be a candidate for the rotation.
Three and two on Polanco. Dylan Covey, a payoff to Jorge Polanco. Called strike three. First strikeout for Covey as he clips the inside corner.
Good late movement. Polanco gave up on it, and the ball caught the corner. Perfect spot. I mean, you're looking at Castillo, never moved the glove, didn't have to sell the strike, knew that he had caught it in the zone, and Jim Reynolds concurred.
That's just a guy getting beat.
That's a pitch we've seen so many left-handers give up on, and more pitchers are starting to use it.
First pitch strike to Jake Cave. 1 out, 4th inning, 2-0 Sox on an RBI single from Avi Garcia in the first and a sacrifice fly. Dodgers are up 9-0 in the 4th. The Rockies with the lead on Washington 4-0 in the 4th. So the NL West looks like it's on its way to a game 163 in Los Angeles tomorrow. The question is, when will that game be, and will it be paired with an NL Central playoff? Tiebreaker game? We will find out as the day wears on. Right now the Brewers are up, the Cubs are down. Two-one. Well, if Dylan Covey continues this performance, and even if not, even if he gives up a couple runs today, last 2 starts plus this one, you go into the offseason thinking, I did everything I possibly could at the end of the year.
Yeah, I think he's going to feel pretty good about himself whenever this particular outing ends, and regardless of how it ends.
Especially after Minnesota in the first inning, this whole series has jumped on Sox pitchers. Center field. Cordell back at the warning track. It's gone. Jake Cave, a home run, and the Twins are on the board.
It's home run number 13, RBI number 45 for Cave. In limited action against us, and we've seen him a lot the last couple of series, but he swung the bat very well. This is a blast to center field. I think Cordell thought he might have had a shot at it, but this one almost hit the hitter's background. I mean, it's a blast. You're talking about good 430.
One in, one out. Robbie Grossman takes ball 1. So 2-0 on Grossman. Pirate and Astro. Now 3-0. And Dylan getting behind now. He struck out Polanco on a 3-2 pitch. Caves homer on a 3-2 pitch. And with Garver on deck, he's going to have to come back against Grossman. Called strike one. A little bit up. So it's a home run and a walk. And now Dylan Covey, who in the fourth inning has given up the balance of his runs this year, sees it bite him a little bit, at least for now. Hey, don't miss any White Sox action in 2019. Full and partial ticket packages are on sale now, offering you the best seats, savings, and benefits. For more information, 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com. 6.05 ERA in the fourth inning this year for Covey. 13 earned runs and 19 1/3 coming in. And that speaks to his trouble the second time through the order.
I was going to say it's mostly when he hits that second time through the order, and it's the middle of that order that usually or has been doing him in.
Strike one to Garver. Brewers have taken a 3-0 lead on Detroit on a Jesus Aguilar home run. The Cubs have tied the Cardinals in the home third at 2. Rockies and Dodgers continue to run away with their games in the NL West. That was a wild pitch by Jack Flaherty, scoring Javier Baez. Ben Zobrist an RBI triple. Garver with a runner on and one out in the fourth. Oh, and 2. Wellington Castillo caught the brunt of that. Oh, 2. That was actually close.
That call could have gone either way. Jim Reynolds said it was low.
Grossman at first, 1 and 2 for Garver, who drove in 6 in his one appearance this series. This one slashed to left field and foul.
Fortunately, get out in front of that one. Hooked well in front of the pole.
Doubleheader game 2 on Friday was Garver's starring performance. Checked his swing there and
he went around.
He did go strike 3. Plate umpire Jim Reynolds didn't need help. 2 out.
Looks like a little too far, and certainly Dylan will take it.
Second strikeout for Covey. Max Kepler, the batter. Down the right field side, and Avi can't make the catch. It's in the corner. Grossman gets into third and has to stop there as Avi recovered well to keep the Twins further off the board.
I think Daniel had a shot at that, and at the last instant it went off the glove.
Polka, I should say. I said Garcia.
Daniel going to his left. And has the ball hit off the glove.
So Kepler into second base, Grossman to third. And there's strike one to Logan Forsythe. One ball, one strike for Forsythe. So 2 hits in the inning, both for extra bases, 1 walk as well. And 2 strikeouts for Covey. Up the middle into center field. Forsythe drives in, the lead runs. With 2 out, the Twins get 2 more, and it's 3-2 Minnesota.
Logan Forsythe with 14 driven in. And the Twins, who had a dormant offense through 3, are starting to hit the baseball second time through the order.
That's been the case this year against Dylan Covey. Second time through has been the irritant. Batting average against increases to .302 the second time through, .222 first time around. Williams Astudillo with 2 out and Forsythe at first. Garcia at short soaks it up for round number 3, but the Twins take their first lead of this game. Forsythe gives it to them. To the 5th we go.
For up-to-date stats and information, sponsored by UI Health. Providing expert care for you and your family, UI Health, changing medicine for good. Learn more at uihealth.care.
New pitcher for Minnesota. It is the left-handed type.
Andrew Vasquez on for the 9th time. His ERA at 6 3/4. Opponent's batting average high at 278. He inherits a 1-run lead.
He'll face the top of the order, starting with Yolmer Sanchez. Zach Littell, 4 innings. He gave up 3 hits, couple earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and he hit a batter. Two strikes on Sanchez from Vasquez, who we saw in game 2 of this series. He gave up a couple runs to the Sox in the 8th inning. Breaking ball fouled off.
That was Vasquez on the mound for Yolmer's triple.
Think the Dodgers want to win their division, by the way? They're up 12-0.
Yep.
In the 4th. Look out, Nick Capra.
Nick did a nice job of getting out of the way of that. That was a rocket.
That's his parting gift for the offseason from Yolmer. Called strike 3, just tipped the corner. In the estimation of Jim Reynolds, 1 out.
Didn't have to move the glove. Gratterall just caught it, framed it, and got the call from Jim Reynolds.
1 out for Garcia, who sacrificed Sanchez over in the 1st. Sox eventually got 2 runs in that 1st inning. Breaking ball for a strike. Target Field, the site of the White Sox farewell 2018. Why not go back there? 0-2. Oh, 2. Right back to the breaking ball in the dirt. Gratterall finds it and loops it for out number 2. Daniel Polka. We mentioned the power surge that he's had this year with more than a month or so in AAA. Daniel crushes this ball in Kansas City back in late April. And then he turns into the walk-off hero. Deep to left field. Chuck Garfien called it. And Daniel went deep. He has become the late inning guy for the White Sox, one of the major league leaders in 9th inning home runs this year. And Daniel hoping to be part of this team in a big way next season.
Well, you would think with a club that dearly can use some left-handed power, Daniel would fit nicely into that slot, regardless of where he's played or if he's going to be the DH. He's going to face a whole lot of right-handers.
I mean, that whole Indians rotation is right-hand pitchers. You've got the class of this division being right-handed, at least for now. There is a place for somebody like Daniel Polka. Three and 1 to Daniel, who banged one off the wall last time. He's 2 for 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Two strikeouts in the inning for Vasquez. Breaking ball nicely done. Strike 3. Ends the inning, a 1-2-3 fifth for Vasquez. And we're halfway home, 3-2 Minnesota. Juan Granderol leads it off in the fifth for Minnesota, up 3-2. He'll be followed by Mauer and Polanco. Sanchez at third has time, and there's out number one. Possibly the last game for Joe Mauer. Ricky Renteria was asked pregame his thoughts on the longtime Twin.
We've seen it over the last four games now, 3 games. What a great hitter! You know, he continues to swing the bat, doing a lot of different things. Listen, he's been around the game. You're not around the game that long by accident. He's brought a particular skill set to the game, and I think he's beloved here. Obviously, you know, if it is his last game, you know, he's had a great career. We applaud him.
And they do too, standing for Joe Mauer every time he's up. He's 0 for 2. First pitch swinging in the air, left center. Ryan Cordell in the gap. Think he comes back if he goes over?
Well, there's a lot of folks around here believe this is going to be it for him. And a lot like David Ortiz said, he knew he could still play the game. Joe Mauer can still play the game. It's the preparation for getting your body to the point where you can play just about every day. It's that preparation that gets tedious for guys as they move along late in their careers. So we'll have to see what Joe decides. It'll be a decision, I'm sure, with his family well involved in it.
It's something of deja vu for Matt Davidson today over at first base for the Sox. It was 5 years ago. He had just been called up as a young sprite for the Arizona Diamondbacks, and he participated in Todd Helton's last game for the Rockies.
Equally as well loved in his neck of the woods. And what a career Todd Helton had.
I was talking to David Cutcliffe, the Duke football coach, last year about Todd Helton, who was a quarterback for Cutcliffe at Tennessee. And David Cutcliffe said to us that nobody liked being the backup more than Todd Helton. He had no interest really in actually playing in the football games, but he loved holding the clipboard. He loved being on the sideline.
Well, look, you get all the experience. You get to go to practices. You get a nice shiny uniform. It never gets dirty because you never get hit. You don't get injured if you're the backup. So it's not a bad spot.
That's the way to do it. Never get hit.
Probably the best is like some of these pro quarterbacks that play 9, 10, 11 years in the league, they might take 3 snaps. They just sit there and they're perennial backups. They're there for emergencies. The emergency never shows up. It's a nice job to have.
Get to learn from the other guy
Yeah.
in case it ever happens. It didn't, and you make some money. Now, if you have ambition or are highly competitive, that might go the other direction for you, but take it if you can find the work. 3-2 Covey, 2 Polanco. 2 out, 5th inning. Too close to take. Covey pays it off, 3-2. Oh, that was close and pretty good, and he didn't get the call. On a day when the strike zone has been inflamed at points.
Jim Reynolds thought it was down. Looked like Wellington thought it might have been down, but it was close.
Here's Jake Cave, who homered in the 4th. Got the Twins on the board, and they eventually took this 3-2 lead. And strike 1.
Our 4th drive of the game comes off the bat of Jake Cave, and it was last inning. 108.1 miles an hour on the exit velocity, a line drive home run. Our 4th drive of the game. Visit your local Ford store, buyfordnow.com.
Runner goes, throw to second, safe. Polanco steals second base.
Seventh stolen base as Polanco looks back, looking for some contact, didn't see any, and able to beat the play at second.
Sox are looking at it. Mike Kashersky in the instant replay room says, what do you think? Ricky's going to challenge it based on the advice of Cash. Here's another look. Oh, maybe. Yeah. You get him on the head.
Didn't appear he got him on the helmet.
See if there's clear and convincing proof to overturn. Be pretty tough to overturn.
It looked to me like the hand was on the bag. He doesn't get the helmet, and I think by the time he catches him right there, the hand is on the bag. I think we'll see what they feel like in New York.
Cash does have very good eyes, though. Mike Kashersky in the replay room for the Sox yesterday, before the Sox game, before he did his instant replay stuff for the Sox in game, he was over at the University of Minnesota officiating a scrimmage for the Gophers basketball team. Cash is an official on the side, going to do some Division I games this year, and he's in the replay room for the Sox. So you have somebody who knows rules as well as just about anybody doing this position for the White Sox. And this is a longer review than you'd imagine based on what we saw originally. So maybe they will decide against Minnesota. We'll see. Those headsets are very good for couples as well. You can listen to the same song while you're sitting at home watching TV. Safe. Sox are out of challenges for 2018 other than crew chief reviews. Here's an update in the National League West. Kaboom. Dodgers and Rockies are going to play tomorrow, we would think.
It looks like, although it hasn't been decided yet, I can't see the Dodgers giving up that lead, and the Nationals, I don't think are coming back at the Rockies.
You give up 14-0 on the last day of the season, you should actually be sent to Double-A. You're playing in the Southern League next year. It's been fun. Foul ball. 1-2 on Cave. 2 outs, 5th inning. Game time to be announced for Dodgers and Rockies, if indeed that does come to pass. But it would happen in Los Angeles if they ended up tied, the Dodgers winning the season series. That's strike 3, ball downstairs, and the out completed. So we will mosey along to the 6th inning with the Sox down a run in the finale of 2018. Sixth inning features Avi Garcia, Matt Davidson, Nicky Delmonico in a 1-run deficit. Sox trying to avoid a 100-loss season, which hasn't happened to this organization since 1970. Twins go back to the bullpen. Vasquez won 3-strikeout inning, giving it up to Matt McGill.
Matt McGill comes on for the 40th time, 3-3, ERA of 3.88. Vasquez threw it well, but it was a cameo.
Thank goodness for that. 3 strikeouts, see you later. Avi DHing today, 1 for 2. With a fly out to center last time.
High-speed replay is powered by Xfinity, and Avi in the first inning took it pretty much right back through the middle for a run batted in, his 49th. Got the Sox on the board. Big hug for Joe Mauer.
If this is not Joe Mauer's last game, he's going to have deja vu next year. A lot of goodbyes from White Sox players, from Twins fans here.
scene with his daughters before the game was really cute because all the people out there were out there waiting for their chance to get autographs and everything else, and his two daughters kept running away. He's trying to get them back so for the presentation, whatever they were going to do, and finally, after a couple times, they came back and he was able to accomplish what he wanted to do.
How very fitting for Joe Mauer to have twin daughters.
Yeah.
Avi in the air, right center field. Cave in the sunlight. Here's your Sox Math winner. For the final time, 2018, 180 days between now and the Sox opener 2019, including the 2 days. And the Sox will play the Rockies never next year unless there's a World Series for Colorado and the White Sox. So 180 minus 0, 180. Wojo 875 is your winner. Our last Sox Math winner of 2018. One down for Davidson, who drove in a run in the first. Sox will open in Kansas City next year.
Then Cleveland, Kansas City and Cleveland, first trip.
There you go.
A little chill in the air.
Yeah, no roof like in Toronto this year. Sox will have 3 separate opening days next year. The 2 on the road and their own against the Mariners. One down, Davidson against McGill. 1-2.
McGill's getting it up there pretty well. That was 96.
Struck him out. Good breaking ball outside. 8th strikeout for Twins pitching. And Delmonico bats. Nicky Delmonico, we told you, sort of an uneven season for him because of the injury, but he has led off every once and again this year. This is his first career leadoff home run. It comes against the Detroit Tigers at home, September the 3rd. One to remember for Nicky. All these moments, but I do think the moment of the season is going to be Yolmer Sanchez for the first time dousing himself with Gatorade in terms of indelible memories.
I prefer the Chuck.
The Chuck douse?
Yeah.
That was a pretty good one.
Ground
Chuck.
I thought that was a good one. Yeah.
Somebody around baseball the other day, there was something similar happened, and the reporter got Gatorade dumped on her, and I believe one of the players did pay for the dry cleaning. I think I read that somewhere around baseball, but that didn't happen with Chuck, as Daniel Palka so deftly said. I'm a rookie, I'm not paying for that.
That's it. Give it to the guy who's been around a while, not the guy making the minimum.
Give Shields the bill. 2-1 to Nicky. Honestly, the best moment of this season, though, may have been Danny Farquhar's return to throw out the first pitch at Guaranteed Rate Field.
That was really a very emotional day, a wonderful sight, and hopefully he'll be back next year. I mean, I'd like to see him pick up his career again.
That's what he'd love more than anything, having talked to him in Anaheim a couple months ago. Three and 2 to Nicky. McGill strikes him out. 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. Sox down a run.
White Sox debit card only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/White Sox to learn more. Wintrust Community Bank, member FDIC.
Bottom 6, 3-2 as they bundle up one more time. Free hat day at the ballpark today. Hats galore here at Target Field. If you're going to take a vacation, especially to one of the Norse lands, that's going to be what you want to pick up. We've got the Sox version of it.
Yeah.
But they know how to bundle up here, that's for sure. They're experts.
Well, they have no choice. It was in the mid-30s the other day. We're not out of September quite yet, so it does chill up rather quickly here in the Twin Cities.
In the sky, third base side, Sanchez in the sunlight to make the catch for round number 1. Hey, Sox fans, think warm. Join Yolmer Sanchez, that man right there, Tim Anderson, Nicky Delmonico, Ron Kittle, and others. December 9th, Sox on the beach with Apple Vacations. Stay 7 nights at the all-inclusive Iberostar Paraíso Lindo in beautiful Riviera Maya, Mexico. There's a private welcome party, an autograph session, food and drink, and special group activities with your White Sox hosts. Sounds like great fun. Visit applevacations.com/White Sox to book your trip today. One down, Garver. Right field side, and Polka gives it a look. Sox down 3-2 on a 3-run fourth for Minnesota. Breaking Dylan Covey's scoreless streak at 15 1/3.
Twins fed up and going. It's Trevor Hildenberger, who we've seen in the series, sidearm right-hander. Will occasionally throw from up over the top, but not often.
Short of the plate, 1-2 for Garver. Final day of the 2018 season. Final performance for Dylan Covey. Left field. Nicky got there fast. A single for Garver with 1 out.
Garver has occasional difficulties with the catching aspect of the game, but he can swing the bat. The Twins have certainly found that out, and they like to see him in the lineup. They put him a few different places.
Can play a little first base. DHing today. Kepler, the batter. Been a fly ball hitter for the most part this series. Ground ball would be nice. Or a bunt.
Good idea with the shift on. Yolmer the only man home on the left side. If he got it on the grass, most likely it is a base hit, but he fouled it off.
One strike. Turns to 2. Sox haven't been swept in 4 at Target Field since early 2015. That's the danger today, along with a season-ending loss. In the air, right field and deep. This has Flower Box and beyond on it. 2-run home run for Kepler. It's 5-2 Minnesota.
Max Kepler hits his 20th. Now driven in 58. That a no-doubter. I mean, that was a blast. This ball is absolutely obliterated. It's a fastball right down the middle, and Max Kepler probably got every bit he can get. We've seen him hit some long ones. This might have been the longest of the bunch, as that one goes way back there.
There were 2 targets that were on his mind. One was across the street.
I know. It hit the top. It went over the stands.
Strike one to Logan Forsythe. So 5-2 Minnesota. 6th inning.
Bullpen up and going. Wamanai, who's had a nice year loosening in the pen since coming back from the minor leagues after losing all semblance of a release point. He thrown it very well the second half of the year.
Two balls, 1 strike. There's the ground ball that Covey wanted. Garcia throws Forsythe out. 2 down in the 6th. Colorado 7-0 over Washington, still in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Dodgers trouncing the Giants 14-0, top of the 6th. So game 163 certainly coming in the NL West, barring a complete debacle late for either of those teams.
And the Cubs leading 4-2 over St. Louis. That at Wrigley Field. That game in the middle of the 5th. And the other team is the Milwaukee Brewers. They're up 3-0, looking for more in the bottom of the 6th inning against Detroit. If those 2 scores hold, there will be a game 163 to decide the Central.
Amazing. 2 game 163s tomorrow.
It's pretty amazing.
Moncada gets around it and throws him out. 2-run home run Max Kepler though, and the Twins expand their lead. It's 5-2 after 6. However, he'll be most remembered for, you have to believe, these 3 great catches. The Yankees got a face full of them August 6th and 7th, and then later on in the week on Sunday, August the 12th, high into the air to pull one back and spark a rally on a Sunday afternoon for the Sox. And Adams become one of the best defensive center fielders in Major League Baseball.
There's a look at the man who is possessed of great timing, great leaping ability, and a defense par excellence. So we've got a new pitcher in the ball game, and it is Trevor Hildenberger, on for the 73rd time. ERA just over 5, a 4-6 record.
Getting a lot of use out of Mr. Hildenberger this year.
He's the 4th of the Twin pitchers.
First one, a strike on Wellington Castillo. Hildenberger, a 22nd round pick 4 years ago. In his 110th game the last 2 seasons for Minnesota. Left side, past Polanco, and a leadoff single for Wellington Castillo. MLB At Bat is your #1 White Sox app. Customize your experience to get your home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today, right now. One on, nobody out for Moncada. Check swing foul. He had to fight off.
That was the emergency hack. He took that one out of Gratterall's glove.
A 25th hour decision.
Yeah, this is when you decide really late. Let's see. Yeah, it looked good.
Good luck keeping that fair. Well, Yoan ended the season swinging it better, hitting the ball harder late in the year. He did have that rather pronounced downturn after coming back from the DL, as he takes inside 3-1. But you could see, especially early in this game with that glove flip, you can see the sheer talent coming out of him at points this year.
Well, as the year went along and he started facing more left-hand pitchers, he started to swing the bat better right-handed, because early in the season the right side was a disaster for him, and the left side he was swinging it pretty well. So here he does take a walk, his 2nd of the afternoon.
2 on, nobody out for Ryan Cordell. Chris Davis, by the way, for Oakland is done for the day, as the Cubs lead 6-2 now in the 5th, with the Brewers up 3-0 in the 6th. Chris Davis is done for the day. He went 0 for 2. He's officially a .247 hitter 4 straight seasons.
That's great.
One of the true quirks of baseball. Two on, nobody out for Cordell. Ryan, who had the ugly injury early in the year to his collarbone, got his chance here in September. Now his 19th game with the Sox.
Taylor Rogers throwing in the pen. You wouldn't think Paul Molitor would be too patient in this situation. He's got the lead in this one. There's a look at the Hall of Famer Paul Molitor. From this area, put together a spectacular career in his 4th year of managing these Twins.
That ball's hit well left field. Grossman back. He's at the warning track, and he can't make the play. Castillo's on his way home. Moncada stops at third. Ryan Cordell an RBI double, and the Sox are on the comeback trail in the 7th.
Grossman was back there, looked like had a shot at it, and then saw the ball trickle away. That's a high slider and stays over the middle of the plate. Cordell gets most of it with Grossman, who just cannot make the play.
So that looks like it's going to be all for Hildenberger. He will come out, and Taylor Rogers will check in to flip Sanchez to the right-hand side. Sox are storming back, down 5-3 in the 7th.
Went an inning in the third in that one, on for the 72nd time. His ERA a fine 2.67. He inherits some problems. Runners at second and third, and a chance to tie up the ball game.
Yolmer Sanchez, Moncada at third, Cordell at second. Strike one. Hildenberger didn't get an out. A hit, a walk, and another hit. A couple of even productive outs would get the Sox to even here in the 7th. Left side, that's at least one run, and Sanchez is safe at first. Close play. Polanco did not get him. Moncada safe at home, and it's 5-4.
Yolmer with his first hit of the day. And the skip across, normally a good play.
Oh, he's out.
Yeah, it sure looked like it.
I thought real time for sure he was out, and he just has to touch the interior of the glove.
No, I mean, he's out easily.
Yeah, it's just a miss.
That's just, yeah.
So it's going to be an RBI ground out. Sanchez will be out. The Sox are within a run. That's why you have replay. Out. Would love to tell you that there's some sort of conspiracy, and then no, it's
he's just out. It's one of those calls.
He's out.
You just missed the call. But now it's a one-run game.
Leori Garcia with Cordell at second. Taylor Rogers, ball number 1. Two balls, no strikes. Daniel Palka next, Avi Garcia to follow. 5-4 Minnesota in the 7th. Hit hard right at second base. Garcia with a dart to Forsythe.
Can't hit it much harder, but unfortunately, Logan Forsythe right in the way of that line drive. Garcia crushes that. But Forsythe right there, and a good piece of base running by Cordell.
John Tumpane with both the out call and a fist pump that he didn't get hit with the ball. 2 down for Palka with a double to left in the 3rd. Daniel 2 for 3. Big chance here against the Twins bullpen and Rogers. Strike 1. One ball, one strike. Castillo singled, Moncada walked, Cordell doubled. Then Sanchez drove in Moncada with the RBI ground out that went to review and was overturned as a save call. It became an out call. One outside. Gratterall has been pretty helpful to his pitchers today. He nearly squeezed that one out.
He frames it pretty nicely. Got soft hands back there. Frames it nicely. Gotten a call or two.
Right back to the ball low, 2-2 for a swing and a miss. Here is Juan Gratterall, the well-traveled catcher from the Angels to here in Minnesota. Two balls, two strikes. He struck him out. 10th strikeout for Twins pitching today. Bottom 7 on the way. The Sox are within a run after a 2-run 7th. And we'll stay here at Target Field and listen in on the final day of the season to God Bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as we welcome Andy Moldenhauer, representing 3M, as he leads us in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the lights from agone. From the mountain to the prairie to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
As this season has moved along, ERA of 3.33, a 2-2 record, 8 holds, opponent batting average a very nice 2.18. For some reason, and no one can figure out what happened, he lost his release point early in this season after a nice year last year. Went down the minor leagues, somehow found it back again, and since coming back, second half of this year out of the bullpen, he's been probably the best out there.
He'll face Gratterall first, then Mauer and Polanco in what could be the final at bat of Joe Mauer's career. We'll see as he makes the decision in the offseason. In the air, right center. Cordell scoots over to make the catch, and there's out number 1. Here he is one more time, Joe Mauer. The amount of lakes they have here, they have that in love for number 7. Say it ain't so, Joe, is the hope. Now the rest of the AL Central would love to get rid of him and send him off to family time.
Yeah, the pitcher certainly wouldn't mind seeing him just go gracefully into retirement. Don't get any more hits off anybody.
We've seen the Sox, Avi Garcia giving him a hug, Wellington Castillo congratulating him. The more goodbyes you give Joe Mauer, the tougher it is for him to say, you know, I'm coming back again. So the Sox should all line up and make a big scene of it and get him out of our lives forever. That's the competition side of it.
Yeah,
but the human side of it is,
give him something off the prize shelf.
But we could do that.
Yeah, the road prize shelf.
He's Jace Fry warming up. I doubt he wants one of our promos signed by me or you.
No, I wouldn't think so.
We'll get him a promo chiseled out of oak by Ron Kittle. 1 ball, 1 strike. Manaea to Mauer. The human side of it is Joe Mauer is an exceptionally talented hitter, has great command of the strike zone and of that baseball bat. And while he does not hit for the same power he used to, he's still a fearsome player in terms of getting on base.
Well, one year when he hit 28 home runs, that was at the Metrodome, and line drives for him in those days went out of the ballpark. Those line drives here are 2 base hits, and that's been the biggest difference in the home run or lack thereof production.
Joe Mauer, who, as the story goes, struck out once in his high school career.
Should have signed that guy, whoever got him.
Yeah, that's right. Fouled away left side. There was another story in the past that Joe Mauer at 4 years old was banned from T-ball because he hit the ball too hard. The legend grows when you're drafted by your hometown team, as he was. Left-hand side and down. If this is his final game, Joe Mauer has a hit in it, and he's going to push it for 2. Mauer is safe. What a final page of the scrapbook it would be.
If we assume that this is going to be it, it's just fitting that he would end it with a typical Joe Mauer hit, which is to left center field, which is what he's worn out over the course of his career, and then hustling for a double. And the fans here, standing ovation continues.
Even if you've prepared yourself for this moment, it can be overwhelming in an instant. Out at second base alone, Joe Mauer thinking over the future of his baseball life. Polanco, a foul ball for strike one.
Here is the prototypical Joe Mauer hit. He takes a pitch that's off the plate, so it's not a strike. It's close, but not a strike. Then drives it into the gap, and then running on the arm of Nicky Delmonico, he runs it into a double.
All you can think when you're running past first base is, will I make it to second? And then all you think when you're at second base and the standing ovation happens is everything else in the future.
I would have to think the decision would be made. It's just a question of telling this town that has idolized him from the beginning exactly what he's going to do.
Ball and 2 strikes on Polanco. Popped up back of home. Castillo has a play. Stay up to date on all things White Sox this offseason. Follow the team on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat for all things White Sox related, like Sox Fest, on sale dates, and more. We have a tweet from the cute tweet department.
Okay.
This is from Nick, NIGoGo1. Nick says, my daughter is very sad it's the last Sox game. Can you say hi to her to cheer her up? Her name is Kendall. Don't be sad, Kendall. The White Sox will be back very soon. It's just going to be a couple months. Sox Fest is coming in January. Don't worry, Kendall. It'll be fine. And everybody else too. The Sox will be back soon enough. Still a couple innings left. 5-4 Minnesota. Jace Fry coming in when we come back.
'59 time, 2-3 ERA of 4.41. The opponent's batting average at 1.95. Jace has had a nice year. Got to figure out what it's like in a major league bullpen, and he's made the most of a lot of his opportunities. Got off to a very quick start this year, and when he throws a curveball over the plate, nobody hits it very well.
He does like to throw it for strike one. He'll go against the left-hander Jake Cave. Mauer at second, 2 out, 7th inning. Strike one. At the end of the pitching change, Joe Mauer, Yolmer Sanchez, a little farewell hug. If it is a farewell. Joe Mauer was asking Yolmer to stay away from him with the Gatorade. It's a little too cold.
Yeah, for the celebration, that'd be a tough one.
Hey, it's your last game.
Hey, give me a second. Here's some pneumonia for the postseason for you. Enjoy that.
1-1 to Cave. And that ball gets away from Castillo. Mauer to third. Fans just realized it was Joe Mauer taking third, so they're celebrating like the Vikings won the Super Bowl.
Well, it was a wonderful job of base running by Joe, as that's a pass ball, I would assume. And as Joe trots to third, gets another standing ovation.
They're going to be cheering as he makes his turkey sandwich in the locker room postgame. To second base. Mauer's run will not count, but it will count in the hearts of thousands of Twins fans. 5-4, the Sox maintain that one-run deficit. Avi, Matt, and Nicky coming up.
Toyota, let's go places. And the man who has gone places is Oliver Drake, who's gone a lot of places. 5 teams this year. So there you can see trade and waivers 3 times, and went to spring training with the Brewers. He's made the rounds. And now, as so often happens when you talk about your Toyota going places, Oliver Drake in the ball game, on for the 44th time. He's 1-1, ERA of 5.40. He threw it very well. We saw him in this series for 1 inning of work, and he's got a 1-run lead to protect, but the Sox trying to come back.
Oliver Drake's season reminds me of a headline from the fake newspaper from 10 years ago, The Onion.
Yes.
This headline comes from The Onion in 2008. Player's career arc exactly mirrors second verse of Steve Miller's Rockin' Me. You know the song.
Sure. Are you kidding? Steve Miller, one of my faves.
There's a fictitious player named Terry Boylan that they include in this story. Quote, I went from Phoenix, Arizona all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, Atlanta, LA. Oliver Drake's season.
That's it
in a nutshell.
Pretty much.
2 strikes on Avi Garcia. But again, Oliver Drake, I think there's some positive there for a player, especially if you're early in your career. You get to see if only for an instant, how other organizations do what they do, and you don't get caught in the bubble of just one team. (5-4) Minnesota, season finale 2018. I think Gratterall wants that outside. His leg was out of the batter's box on the left-hand side. Struck him out. Sox fans, thank you for all your continued support throughout the season. We can't wait to see you all on April 4th for opening day 2019. From everyone in the White Sox organization, we thank you for your support. One down for Matt Davidson from Oliver Drake, who misses up. All it takes is one swing to get the Sox back in a tie. Breaking ball is there for a strike to Davidson.
And Nate Jones loosening in the pen. Well, it's been one of those years for him where he's had a hard time staying healthy. When healthy, getting the ball over the plate, he gets people out, but a lot of injuries for Nate.
A lot of turnover in this Sox bullpen, some by trade, some by injury, some by happenstance or lack of command. 2-2 on Davidson. Update you on everything else going on in the National League. The Dodgers up 14-0 after 8. Rockies 9-0 top of the 8th. Milwaukee 4-0 in the 7th. Cubs up 8-4 in the 6th. Those scores hold, 2 game 163s tomorrow as Davidson goes down swinging. We're on number 2.
That was a splitter that just didn't do much. You expect this to go down. It comes with no spin and then just stays right there. It was velocity as opposed to location. Location's right down the middle. It was the velocity that fooled Matt, and he's a strikeout victim. 2 strikeouts in a row for Drake.
Two out for Nicky. That one tails away from the center fielder Cave and drops in. Delmonico with a 2-out single.
Time now for the IDOT Safe Play. IDOT reminding you that safe driving habits really are a matter of life or death. Visit lifeordeathillinois.com. Little looper into center field. Keeps the inning alive. And the first hit of the afternoon for Nicky.
One more good laugh with Darryl Boston over at first base. And here's Wellington Castillo. Called a strike. And 2 from Drake. 6th pitcher used by the Twins today. Littell, the starter, went 4. Vasquez, McGill, Hildenberger, Rogers, and Drake afterward.
Drake looks like he's looking at his scouting report. Let's see. He pulled paper out of his pocket, wondering if it's the keys to getting out Castillo.
Good thing Joe West isn't here. He'd take him away from him. Can't have a card. Throw to second. Nicky's in there. Tying run in scoring position.
Heads up base running play by Nicky Delmonico, because as soon as this ball's in the dirt, he takes off. Gratterall makes it a lot closer than it should have been, but he's in, and he represents a tying run.
It was Austin Davis, the Phillies reliever, who Joe West took that card from. It was a foreign substance.
That's it.
Sometimes like tact. 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes with Delmonico at second base. Two balls, 2 strikes. He struck him out, down and in. Drake strikes out 3 in the inning. Will play bottom 8 with the Twins still up a run on the Sox.
For the 33rd time, he's 2-2. His ERA a good one at 3.10. There you look at the rest of the numbers, and he's got to keep in place the 1-run deficit. Sox have 3 more outs to come back and try to get one here in this series.
Trying to avoid that 100th loss, as we said, for the first time since 1970, when the Sox went 56-106. Louis Aparicio, a young Bill Melton at age 24. Carlos May was 22. Tommy John had a 3.27 that year. But the remainder of the starting pitchers had ERAs above 4.7. Back in 1970. Grossman first, then Garver and Kepler against Nate Jones. That's a strike. One way or the other, it's a strike.
Well, he swung at it and it was in the zone, so
count for 2.
Yeah, count for 2 strikes. It's late.
Nate Jones goes off speed, 0-2 on Grossman. through the blue sky to a swath of shadows and Ryan Cordell. And for the last time this year, we quiz Steve on his own career. It's brought to you by Volkswagen. Visit your local Volkswagen dealer or VWdealer.com. How many A's did you strike out in the final game in '73?
12.
You remember?
Yeah, it's career high. I do.
You kept that one stored in the old safe there?
Yeah, I pretty much knew about that one. That was one of those days where Oakland didn't want to play. We were there. We figured we'd organize a game, got it together, fanned the 12, flew home.
Well hit right center field. Cordell is there to make the catch and feel the wall of Target Field. 2 down. Well, 3 if you include Cordell.
We'll take a look at this one as he moves to his left. He jumps with 3 or 4 steps to spare, and bang, down goes Cordell.
We were talking to Merck about Brian Anderson making the catch in the blackout game he didn't have to dive for. And Ryan Cordell with a reenactment.
And Nate Jones says, nice job. Appreciate the effort. And I want the out. So thank you.
He said all of that in one cap tip?
One, yeah, that's all it took. Man, a few words, actually.
Certain languages, you just say one sound and it's like a 9-word phrase. And evidently cap tipping is one of those. 2 out for Kepler. Sox in the 9th will have Moncada, Cordell, and Sanchez coming up. I think he went. He did. Let's check and see if Steve was right about a very specific thing that he definitely remembered.
Yeah, that was one of the few times the last couple of weeks where I actually did remember exactly what happened back in 1973.
Ask you who got 2 doubles off you on a specific date. You say, that never happened.
No, I have.
But 12 strikeouts.
Yeah,
that's
12 strikeouts you remember.
Pixel by pixel recall. That's a foul ball. 1-2 on Kepler. You threw 9 of 10 innings in that game. How'd you let him get to extras? What happened?
Well,
you repressed that part, didn't you?
As supportive as my boys were that year, the offense was lagging a bit on that last game of the season.
Final day 2018. High in the sky, foul. And out of play.
Twins pen up and going. Trevor May, Matt Belisle. We've seen them both in this series.
You know, there was some discussion before the game. Ryan Lamar had mentioned this. Some discussion in the Twins dugout of a possible appearance of Joe Mauer behind the plate one last time. We'll see if we do get that here at Target Field as we move along to the 9th inning. 5-4 Minnesota. Moncada, Cordell, and Sanchez coming. how they remember him when they saw him for the first time.
He's saying, help me. I think he wants the players to come out. I think he's had enough of being by himself in the middle of the diamond to a standing ovation.
He is not this type of guy.
No, he's not.
Very against the grain for Joe Mauer to be alone on a diamond. His play stands alone. They're leaving him out there. His teammates.
He's writing his hands. Let's get on with this one. Somewhere along the line, this one has to end. It might as well be now.
You know that Minnesota dugout is just having a good old time with Joe Mauer. All he wants is for one of them to come out and join him, and they won't do it. What a beautiful moment.
He applauds
and here
his
come
teammates.
the Twins.
That's great. What a beautiful moment.
Truly awesome. I know he's done a lot of damage to the Sox in the past, and I know he's been the enemy for a long time, but to see Joe Mauer take that all in was a pretty special thing.
And Matt Belial is going to be the man who pitches to him.
Joe said, what do you throw? How do I do this?
Yeah, and see if you can get 3 people out quickly because I'm not sure about my knees squatting back here again.
Well, the one serious issue is that Joe Mauer has had some concussion problems in the past. So ideally here, there's no foul ball into him. None of that stuff. You don't want to see any of that in a setting like this. So in what seems to be his final game, and with all of this, it would be shocking. With every move he makes, every farewell motion, it would be more surprising and more surprising to see him back. This is the first time in 5 years he's been behind the plate.
August 19th of 2013 was the last time that he put on the mask, the gear, and went behind the plate. So it's been a long time for Joe Mauer. And he catches a man who also is going to end his career this year, Matt Belial, after a long and very, very nice career for Matt Belial. Looks like it's coming to an end for him. On for the 33rd time, his ERA up there. And he's got 3 outs to get. The Sox have 2 runs to get.
See how long Mauer stays behind the plate. He and Moncada share a chuckle. He showed up for the first time April 5th, 2004, Joe Mauer. And a round of applause for ball 1. He's got 6 of these that he can use. And it looks like that's going to be it for Mauer behind the plate. Big hug for Belial. Joe Mauer, that day in April in 2004, caught Brad Radke. For 14 years, a staple with the Twins. And he got one last look at baseball from the vantage point of the Battery. James Shields taking it in. Dry eyes are scarce in Minneapolis right now. of us gets to choose how we are remembered on this planet. But in the game of baseball, every once in a while, a player so special to a town gets to choose how he walks off the field for the final time. If this is it for Joe Mauer, a fitting, touching, and warm send-off on a chilly day in the Twin Cities.
And it was nice to let him catch one pitch just to make sure that, and it was not going to be a strike. Caught one pitch, made sure there was nothing off the mask, and then departed.
And now the one-run game continues. 5-4 Minnesota in the ninth. Moncada takes a called strike. And after Joe Mauer leaves, and a sentimental moment, and the fans still cheer, the buzz still in the stadium. Moncada drives the ball to left field. Grossman at the warning track. It's off the wall. Ringing back into the field of play. Yohan has a leadoff double here in the ninth.
Moncada had a couple of doubles yesterday. Has one here today. Came pretty close to tying it up with this opposite field shot.
And so Belisle's day is done. Ceremony turns into hand-wringing for a final victory on the line for Minnesota. 5-4 Twins. The Sox are on the charge when we come back.
Run at second base, nobody out. On for the 24th time. He's 4-1, ERA of 3.33. Been asked to save 2 games, been successful twice. He's got his work cut out for him here.
Ryan Cordell, the batter. Sox have the tying run at second base, nobody out, 9th inning. Ball 1. Ryan thought about swinging, took ball 2. He's hit the ball well today. 1 for 3, an RBI double. One last chance to get in the win column for the Sox. (2-0). Outside ball 3. Sanchez next, then Garcia and Palka. That's a strike. Called strike 2.
Cordell should be standing at first, but we talked about the big plate today. It continues.
Would have been Ryan's first walk of his career. Instead, a payoff from May. Three and 2. Strike 3.
He goes to the fastball and throws it by him. Yolmer with an opportunity to tie it up.
He drove in a run in the 7th on an RBI groundout. Moncada with tremendous wheels at second base. Sanchez foul left side. Upstairs. If anybody for the Sox is to reach here, Daniel Palka would have a chance, and he has 12 RBIs in the 9th inning this year to go along with 6 home runs in the 9th inning. That's tied for the most in baseball. One and 1. Sprayed foul 1 and 2.
Looked like Moncada was starting to take off. One man has to reach base if Daniel is to get an at bat.
One ball and 2 strikes. Moncada at second, and May steps off. One and 2. Struck him out. Fastball upstairs. Strikeout number 15 for the Twins today, and it's up to Leury Garcia.
Some high heat. Big at bat, and he threw it by Yolmer. Leury with a chance to keep it alive for Daniel Palka, who's in the on-deck circle.
Leadoff double for Moncada. Garcia takes a called strike. 0-1. Foul right side, 2 strikes. Moncada still at second. They've left their seats for 2 strikes on Garcia as the meeting at the mound comes to an end. Jimenez back to his place behind the plate. Joe Mauer, who caught 1 pitch in the inning, watching. Garcia in the air, right center field, and caught. Kepler got there. Joe Mauer's prospective final game, a 5-4 Minnesota win to end the season at 62-100 for the 2018 White Sox.
Made a comeback in this one, tried to avoid, lost 100. We're not able to do it as the Twins sweep the 4-game series, and Joe Mauer once again out with his teammates. And the only thing we don't know, it was a beautiful celebration. We don't know if it's going to be the last in the career of Joe Mauer. That will be decided as we move along.
What we do know is it's a farewell to our longtime director, a great man, a tremendous director. 40 years, Jim Angio in that chair, and here is his final call of the last play of this game. Caught 1 pitch in the inning, watching.
Ready 2. Take 2. Should be it. Back. It's a final. And ready to take 7. Take 7. Ready to take 5. Take 5. Ready 3. Take 3. Ready to take 7. Take 7. Ready to take 2. Take 2. Ready to take camera 1. Take 1. And ready to take camera 3.